Wagwan everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Patrick and this is the Big Up Jamaica channel. Here we talk about all things Jamaica. We will discuss everything from headline news, entertainment, history, music, sports, culture and more. So make sure you subscribe so you can keep up to date with all things Jamaica. In Jamaica we have so many heroes and positive role models who have made us proud and put Jamaica in a great light on the world stage. People like Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley, Usain Bolt and many others have made their mark in world history and made the world see us Jamaicans as we are. But on the other side of the coin, there are some other Jamaicans who have done quite the opposite. They have brought shame and disgrace not only on themselves but also to our beloved country. Today we are going to do a countdown of these top 10 shameful Jamaicans. They have given many people permission to give us good Jamaicans the shady side eye. Stick around because I guarantee you number 1 will surprise you. Starting the countdown at number 10 is Jim Brown, the Don of Dons. Lester Lloyd Coke, aka Jim Brown, was the notorious co-founder of the Shower Posse. How ironic, a drug kingpin with the last name Coke. The people from Tivoli Gardens I'm sure are going to disagree with me on this one. He was basically Jamaica's Pablo Escobar, a Robin Hood figure who was good to the poor of his community, Tivoli Garden, but at the same time bringing misery and death to thousands of people during the crack epidemic of the 1980s. Make no mistake, Jim Brown was a ruthless killer. Did I mention he was co-founder of the notorious Shower Posse? The gang was known for its extreme violence, with members often using firearms to shower communities with bullets. The Shower Posse was involved in thousands of murders in the US during the 1980s and early 1990s. According to author Timothy White in his Bob Marley biography Catch a Fire, Jim Brown was identified as one of the shooters who attempted to kill Bob in the failed 1976 assassination attempt. A true piece of shit. I'm going to eventually do a full deep dive video on him later, so stay tuned. Coming in at number 9, we have the notorious DC sniper Lee Boyd Malvo. Along with his partner in crime and father figure John Allen Muhammad, conducted a series of shootings that terrorized the Washington metropolitan area in October 2002. The attacks, carried out from a modified Chevrolet Caprice, killed 10 people and critically injured 3 over 3 weeks. Muhammad received a death penalty and Malvo, since he was a 17-year-old juvenile at the time, got life in prison. He is currently incarcerated in Virginia at Keene Mountain Correctional Center, a maximum security prison. At number 8, we have Jamaica's first serial killer Lewis Hutchinson. Known as the Mad Doctor, he gained notoriety for murdering travelers and neighbors at his estate, Edinburgh Castle. Hutchinson used to circular watchtowers on his property to shoot passerbys. He would also invite people into his home as guests before killing them. According to accounts from his slaves, he would then dispose of the bodies in a nearby sinkhole that became known as Hutchinson's Hole. The motive for his crimes appeared to be thrill-seeking, as he killed people from all walks of life. Lucky number 7 goes to the Long Island Railroad mass murderer, Colin Ferguson. Ferguson was the mass murderer responsible for the 1993 Long Island Railroad shooting, in which he killed 6 people and wounded 19 others. The shooting rampage ended when Ferguson paused to reload his weapon. He was tackled and held down by 3 passengers until an off-duty officer arrived to handcuff him. In February 1995, Ferguson was found guilty of 6 counts of murder and 19 counts of attempted murder. He received 6 consecutive life sentences, ensuring he would spend the rest of his life in prison. At number 6 we have former heavyweight boxing champion Trevor Berbick. Berbick's life outside the ring was marked by controversy and legal issues. He faced various charges, including sexual assault on a minor and forgery, and was deported from both the United States and Canada. He was tragically murdered in Jamaica in 2006 at the age of 52. His nephew, Harold Berbick, was convicted of his murder, which was reportedly motivated by a land dispute. When Larry Holmes was asked about Berbick's untimely death, Larry Holmes said, "Good God, don't like ugly," or as Jamaicans would say, a good. Number 5 goes to another disgraceful athlete, Ben Johnson. Many of you young folks might think the first Jamaican sprinter to win Olympic gold is Usain Bolt. Well, you would be wrong. The honor or dishonor in this case goes to Ben Johnson. Born in Jamaica but representing Canada in the 1988 Summer Olympics, Johnson ran a blistering then world record time of 9.79 seconds, shocking the world and his then rival America's Carl Lewis, becoming the world's fastest man alive, 30 years before Usain Bolt. At first Jamaicans were bursting with pride, after having seen one of our own capturing the title of world's fastest man. However, just 3 days later, he was disqualified and stripped of his medal and record after testing positive for the banned anabolic steroid stanozolol. Carl Lewis, who finished second, was awarded the gold medal. The race became known as the dirtiest race in history. The fallout from the scandal resulted in him banned for life from the sport and prompted increased scrutiny of drug use in sports. He later admitted to using steroids for several years. At number 4, we have Licky Sean Kingston and his mama Janice. These two are the Michael Jordan and LeBron James of scamming. Both were convicted of wire fraud to defraud luxury merchandise vendors of over $1 million in goods. Kingston was sentenced to 42 months in federal prison, and his mother received a 5-year sentence. Number 3 goes to Al-Qaeda shoe bomber Richard Reed. Richard Reed, a British citizen of Jamaican descent, was an Al-Qaeda operative known as the shoe bomber. In 2001, he attempted to detonate plastic explosives hidden in his shoes on a transatlantic flight. His failed plot directly led to increased airport security measures, including the requirement for passengers to remove their shoes for screening. This piece of shit is the reason why we have to take our shoes off every time we go through a TSA check before boarding a flight. Reed pleaded guilty to 8 terrorism-related charges in October 2002 during his sentencing in January 2003. Defiantly declared his allegiance to Osama bin Laden, stating, "I am at war with your country." He was sentenced to life in prison without parole and ordered to pay a $2 million fine. At number 2 is Donald Trump's favorite Jamaican, Florida Congressman and MAGA bootlicker Byron Donalds. Born in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, from Jamaican heritage is Byron Donalds. Byron has done everything possible to elevate himself in the eyes of white racists in America. Not only has he supported and voted with Trump on every racist agenda he proposes, he has railed against everything that will progress the lives of Black Americans, such as civil rights, Black Lives Matter, diversity, equity and inclusion, wokeness, critical race theory, police reform, and the George Floyd Police Act, just to name a few. He even voted against the nomination of Ketanji Brown Jackson, the country's first black female Supreme Court justice. You may have remembered Uncle Byron making national headline news when he said that blacks in America were better off under the racist Jim Crow policies of the pre-civil rights South. What kind of black man would fix his mouth to say something so stupid and ignorant? Byron Donalds, that's who. He is living proof to the saying that goes, not all skinfolk is kinfolk. He could as early be number 1 on this list, but number 1 deserves the title. And finally, at number 1, and this may surprise you, but it's none other than Colin Powell, son of Jamaican immigrants, former Secretary of State and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. In 2003, he got up in front of the United Nations and lied his ass off to the world to get the United States in the most pointless and bloody war. He got over 4,000 American soldiers and 300,000 Iraqi civilians unnecessarily killed for what is now known to be a proven lie. There is so much blood on his hands, he makes Jim Brown and Lewis Hutchinson look like saints. Fuck him, he is a true piece of shit whose name and reputation is forever tarnished because of his lies to do George Bush's bidding. Well, there you have it, the top 10 most disgraceful Jamaicans that have brought dishonor to themselves and the country. As a bonus for you, here are a few honorable, or in this case dishonorable, mentions. Captain Henry Morgan. Yes, that same Captain Morgan that is immortalized in the famous rum brand that bears his name. He was a notorious pirate during the glory days of Port Royal, known as the wickedest city on earth. Do you believe this piece of shit actually became Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica? Make sure you check out my video on Port Royal, Annie Palmer, the Wicked White Witch of Rose Hall. I made a deep dive video on this evil woman. Check it out also. Vivian Blake, along with his partner Jim Brown, Blake created the Shower Posse, bringing death and destruction to countless people during the violent crack era of the 1980s. Although he was considered the brains and Brown the muscle, he was still evil nonetheless. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, big up yourself and walk good. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out the playlists section of my channel. There you will find all my videos conveniently arranged by the various genres such as history, true crime, music, culture, tourism, etc. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be instantly notified for new videos on all things Jamaica. See you on the next one.